Hello everyone. So today we are going to see an important essay question. Let us know today a session about what is SEBI, what are its important objectives, powers, roles, and functions. Are you ready? Come, let's move. So starting with SEBI. What is SEBI? Securities and Exchange Board of India. This was officially appointed as the authority regulating the financial markets in India on April 12, 1988. It was initially established as a non-statutory body. That means it had no control over anything. But later in 1992, it was declared as an autonomous body with the statutory powers. So there are some reasons for the SEBI's origin. First of all, we have certain malpractices that is happening in the stock market. You must be aware of different scams like Harshad Mehta scam, Ketan Parikh scam, Hawala scams. All these were one of the examples for the real origin of SEBI. So some examples of malpractices would be like unofficial self-styled merchant bankers, unofficial private placements, rigging of prices, illegal way of pricing, non-adherence of the provisions of the Companies Act, violation of the rules and regulations of the stock exchanges, delay in the delivery of shares, etc. So due to these malpractices, people started losing confidence in the stock market. The number of investors investing in the stock market got reduced gradually. The government felt sudden need for setting up an authority to regulate the working and the working of the stock market system, and also trying to reduce such malpractices. As a result, the government came up with the establishment of SEBI, we can find. Now, there is also an organization structure to be understood regarding SEBI's regulations. The first one we have, there are totally 9 members we have in SEBI. Starting with the top level is chairman, who's appointed by the government of India. Then we have after the chairman, the second one is the 2 members we have who must be the officers from the Union Finance Ministry. The third category would be 1 member from the Reserve Bank of India. And the last category would be 5 members appointed by the Union Government of India. So totally comprising of the 9 members in SEBI. Now, what are the main objectives of SEBI? We have 3 major objectives of SEBI: protecting the investors. How do you think that SEBI protects the investors? It tries to protect the interest and rights of the investors by providing or giving them guidance and ensure that the investment what they make is safe or not, is secured or not. Then the second category is SEBI helps in preventing the fraudulent practices and malpractices, where we can find the trading and the regulation of the exchange activities that are happening in the stock market. The third category is that fair and proper functioning. SEBI keeps a close check over the activities of the financial intermediaries like brokers and sub-brokers, etc., so that they don't end up in malpractices and creating a bad environment in the stock market. So all this is ensured with the help of upcoming SEBI. There are some important powers of SEBI. First of all, to regulate and approve the bylaws of the stock exchanges, to inspect the books of accounts of recognized stock exchanges and call for periodical returns, to compel certain companies to get listed on 1 or more stock exchanges, inspect the books of financial intermediaries, to handle the registration of the brokers, to draft the legal rules to ensure the protection of the general public, to completely regulate all the aspects of insider trading. Insider trading is something like other than the official hours, without the notice of the other members in the organization, you try to leak out the information to others and do unofficial trading. It's called insider trading. And announce the penalties and expulsions. If at all, in case malpractice are happening, the penalties and the way of how to get rid of such problems will also be announced by SEBI. So unethical practices will not be tolerated in any way by SEBI. Please remember that. There are important functions of SEBI. There are 3 important functions. The first category is protective functions. So as the name states, we can say that the functions are performed by SEBI to protect the interest of the investors and various financial participants, like it can be brokers, sub-brokers, and so on. So it includes like checking the price rigging, preventing the insider trading, promoting fair practices, fair and justifiable practices, creating awareness among the investors, prohibit fraudulent and unfair trade practices. All these are the protective functions of SEBI. The second category is regulatory functions of SEBI. These functions are basically performed to keep a check over the functioning of the business in the financial markets. These functions include like designing the guidelines and code of conduct for the proper functioning of the financial intermediaries and the corporate, regulating the takeover of the companies, the mergers and the takeovers of the companies, in case it happens, conducting inquiries and audit of the exchanges, internal audit or management audit, cost audit or whatever it is. Then we have registration of the brokers, sub-brokers, merchant bankers, and so on. About merchant bankers, we'll be learning in depth in the coming sessions. Levying of the fees in case of penalties or in case of reimbursements or anything like that, the compensation, everything will be regulated by SEBI. Performing and exercising the powers, who, what has to be done at what time, where, in whose consent. All this will be decided by SEBI. Register and regulate the credit rating agency. Credit rating agencies, the main role is that they look after whether which company is performing better and which is giving high return, high risk. So ensuring the safety and such things are maintained in consent with the SEBI only. The third function, we have developmental functions. SEBI performs certain developmental functions, which includes like it also that include. They're not limited only to this, but they are beyond these things we can find. They have more functions. Imparting training to the intermediaries, promotion of fair trading and reduction of malpractices, carry out the research work, encouraging the self-regulating organizations, buying and selling of the mutual funds directly from the asset management company through a broker, and so on. So these were the things what we discussed. So in today's session, we have dealt about what is SEBI, what is the origin of that, reasons for its origin. Then we have learned about the objectives, the powers, the functions in detail. Okay, so in the coming session, we'll be dealing with more sessions, more classes. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.